G'day and welcome back to round 4 of the Legacy Masters 2018, here hosted at Next Level Games in Dandenong. We've got an interesting match coming up for you now. Turbo Depths on the right hand side for Scott McPherson. I think we're all relatively familiar with that, but we've got a serious brew for Gene Holland here on the left.
It is super cool. It's somewhat based on a Nick Fit kind of idea. He's got Noble Hierarchs, Veteran Explorers, Deathrite Shamans, but
it looks kind of like a Highlander list almost. It's a whole bunch of one-offs and crazy creatures.
We've got Stewart of Valron, which is a 2/2 for 2 mana, mana dork. Baleful Strix, Court Husser, True Name Nemesis, Harkon, Stormgald Scourge, I think I've said that correctly, which is a knight which you can only cast from your graveyard. When it dies from battlefield, you lose 2 life. But when it's in play, you may cast other knights from your graveyard.
Yeah, so there's a few knights in here, are there?
There are quite a few knights. So
Okay.
The Stewart is a knight, the one I mentioned. Steel Moon Cavalier is a knight. Wilt.
Whitleaf Lage, that's
That's
one.
it.
Is that the one where if it gets sort of taken from your hand by way of a discard spell, it kind of just comes into play?
I believe
I think so.
so. Or let's look it up and double check.
Yeah.
Because there's some that I definitely. Oh no, this is other green creatures you control get +1/+1.
There's definitely some kind of if it's forced to be discarded
I think
from your
you might
hand.
be thinking
Yeah.
of Luxon Smiter, is it?
Yeah, maybe.
That's a
Let's have a
4/4.
look.
If a spell... Oh, no, wait, you might be right. If a spell or ability an opponent controls causes you to discard Whitleaf Lage, put it onto the battlefield instead,
Okay.
putting it into your graveyard. So you're 100% correct.
Yeah, right. So
Yeah.
look, there is a Thoughtseize, but I don't know that it's going to get the that one's going to get picked. But no him to Turax here in the Turbo Depths deck. But it's great to see a really wild, spicy list
Yeah, and
on the left here for Gene.
There's Birthing Pod in this list, Lingering Souls,
There's a
Linear
Batterskull.
Zer's Weirding, which I have a feeling is the card we need to really look up, because I think that's the one which...
In the meantime, it looks like
Combo.
Gene's gone down to 6 here. Yeah.
Oh, he's
He's mulligan that one. Whereas I think Scott's kept. He's looking pretty solid. He's rolling up his sleeves.
We're getting serious.
Yeah,
We're on
that's right.
camera, better roll up the sleeves.
Just
Alright,
trying
Zer's Weirding. Players play with their hands revealed. Sorry, I should start. It's an enchantment, 3 and 1 blue to play. Players play with their hands revealed. If a player would draw a card, they reveal it instead. Then any other player may pay 2 life. If a player does, that player put that card into his player's graveyard.
So we've got a thespian stage for Scott as his first turn play.
So does that have any interesting interactions with Life on the Loam? No, because it's a replacement effect.
Yeah.
So you still get to dredge.
So let's see which land Gene plays. And hopefully he can school us in the art of this deck.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we're in the dark a little bit here. What's he going to go for first? He's thinking hard.
Yeah.
I mean, the first land that you play is critical though, right?
Yeah, and in a deck
gotta
like this,
think
it
about
looks critical. Lots of one-offs. Lots of one-offs.
No, he was going to go the Verdant Catacombs. Yep, so he's elected to go with Catacombs first.
Does Scott's Depths list play many Ghost Quarters?
Let's have a look. One Ghost
one
Quarter in the main.
main.
Let's have a look in the side. No, just the one.
Just the one, okay. Well, the last one we were watching on screen had 3 in the main deck.
Yeah, right. He's got a lot of hand disruption here in his main deck. So 4 Thoughtseize and 4 Duress. What you would expect, the Sylvan Safekeepers, Vampire Hex Mages, that kind of thing. So he's really looking to turbo out his Dark Depths combo.
This is actual turbo depth. So I was
Yep.
thinking it was lands again. I should probably read the deck list before making comment on them.
No, it's a fast one, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine in the last round beaten by Turbo Depths. Just couldn't burn him out fast enough,
right.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, I can deal 20 damage in one shot. You have to do it in a couple of shots, kind of thing, eh?
So what's that? We've got a Cabal Therapy there.
Yeah. Do we know what it's naming?
Let's have a look. Still being decided. He's revealing now. So we see a Hex Mage, a Sylvan Scrying, 2 Elvish Spirit Guides, a Ghost Quarter, I think.
Is that a Bajuka Bog?
Yeah, it looks like it may be. Let's just check there's one in the main. Yeah, there's one Bajuka Bog in the main. Yeah, and I think I can see the text there about exiling stuff from the graveyard.
Yeah.
So a bit of acceleration. Yeah, let's think about what he'll do next turn. He might exile a Spirit Guide and Sylvan Scrying for a Dark Depths, perhaps. Yeah, he's really got to find some black mana, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, if that Bajuka Bog was Urborg, he's off to the races, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. Alright. So he must have missed with the Cabal Therapy. Do we hear what he named at all?
Name Crop Rotation.
Okay. That makes sense. Oh, he's just drawn a Crop Rotation. So that's an unfortunate miss for G.
He just summoned it to the top of the deck, didn't he? Yeah.
Alright, so we've got Scott thinking hard here.
Trying to...
He's thinking about maybe a Ghost Quarter. Yeah, so he's put a Ghost Quarter into play.
Interesting.
So 2 colourless lands.
It's an interesting choice. I guess he doesn't have information about how many basics.
I think he's
playing.
He's just weirded out, maybe. Like he just doesn't know what's going on on the other side.
We have the deck list in front of us, and we're figuring it out. I'm actually super excited to actually see it happen. Both players.
So both players do know the matchup. So so this is,
which makes sense with the name Crop Rotation.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to see a Veteran Explorer there.
Is Veteran Explorer a dangerous prospect against Turbo Depths? It has to get basic lands.
So there's a bit of the junk kind of Nick Fit. Element to this, isn't there?
There's very much a Nick Fit element to it.
He's got his Therapy in the graveyard.
But it's a little bit lower to the ground than Nick Fit is. It's not trying to.
Yep. There goes the Explorer. So we'll see a couple of basic lands
come in for both players, and that's why I'm wondering whether it's dangerous. I guess Gene knows that Scott doesn't have the Dark Depths in hand.
So yeah, we've got Scott's going to have a forest and a swamp there. Those are his only 2 basics in the main. Yeah.
Okay. Which means that Ghost Court is purely just to get Gene essentially. But we know he's playing a bunch of basics.
He's going to be playing a huge number of basics. Yeah. If he's on Explorer.
Exactly.
Yeah. So there's a lot of colour going on there for Gene in his mana base. Got plains on an island and a bayou.
I actually think I saw a Swords to Plowshare in Gene's hand. I've been trying to catch a peek of it, but
we saw like what happens if you swords a Marit Lage in the last match, right? Things can go for a while.
Oh, that was an absolute slog.
Yeah, it was an epic. So if you're watching just this match, do check out the round 3 match on camera. It was a massive war. It was great to watch.
Good way to get some good lessons on the lands deck. That was. All right, so where are we right now?
I think we're thinking about a Crop Rotation here. He's going to try and find the Dark Depths.
This is in end steps, is it?
Ordinarily, you would expect it would be.
Yeah.
There's the depths.
Probably creating a monster. This is in response to the therapy.
Yeah, right. So he'll just name. Yeah, he would have named Crop Rotation again.
Well, we don't know what he's named because if it's in response,
but he probably would have named Crop Rotation, right? Yeah, that seemed to be the threat. All right.
I guess you would name now a protection spell of some description, which.
It depends. If he's got a plow, he could name maybe. Is it? Can you name creatures with Cabal Therapy?
You can name creatures.
Yeah, maybe go with like Sylvan Safekeeper or something like that if you've got removal.
Which he does play Sylvan Safekeeper in his deck, so.
See if we can find out what's being named, but I think he might still be deciding. Well, he may already know the full hand after the previous Cabal Therapy. got the scrying.
You better hit the scrying.
Yeah, so his name's scrying.
Okay. Yeah, I guess hitting the spirit guys and getting that.
Yeah, so there's definitely a plow there too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And getting that sweet 2 for 1, not so attractive when you're just giving him 2 lands.
Yeah.
Anyway. The Hexmage makes things interesting. If he could cast it. No, it doesn't really, does it? Because...
Yeah. I mean, you've still only got 1 Dark Depths in play, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You can't...
Yeah. I think Scott's thinking pretty hard here.
Yeah, he's probably expecting the Swords to Plowshare.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe you just got to... Yeah, the thing is, it takes him down to 2 lands, like...
Yeah.
But maybe you just have to go for it. I mean, you're a turbo depth deck. Yeah, you go for it, right?
You
go, look, this guy's got a certain percentage chance of having a plow, and if he does it, I'm on 40, so I've got time to find it again.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
He's going to have Life from the Loam, so he'll have a chance to pull all that stuff back into his hand, I think. Or does he have Life from the Loam? Where are we?
No loam?
Doesn't look like it. Can you see it in there?
Nope. I can't.
He's just got to find the combo again. Or maybe the Turbo Depths. I haven't looked at the Turbo Depths deck in.
Some of them do play
in detail before.
Play them.
Yeah, but maybe you want to trim those just to increase the chances that you can power out the combo.
Yeah. I guess the idea is to have a 20-20 by turn 2.
Yeah.
That's
which is
ideal.
pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. I hear that's okay.
I hear that's okay. Yeah. That's right. All right, so where are we? We've got a Dryad Arbor in play now.
A land which makes a 1/1 creature. Not quite the same.
It's not too bad if you expect to hit Edict effects and stuff like that. It can protect your Merit Lage.
Absolutely.
A lot of people running Diabolic Edict to target Merit Lage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's fetchable, so...
Yeah, I remember seeing a little while ago a deck drafted by Joe Brennan where he ran 2 copies of Far and Away in the board as a means to bounce the Merit Lages, and I thought it was some pretty good tech.
That guy's too good at Magic.
Yeah.
He's way too good at Magic. Yeah. I love watching him play Vintage.
Yeah.
He's just
but you want an instant speed
good.
bounce effect, I reckon, in this format.
Submerge or something.
There's a true name.
That will...
He's got to bash in how many times? Yeah, a few.
Yeah. It'll get the job done eventually.
Yeah. What do we see there?
This is the Steward of Valron. I think I'm saying that right. Valron.
Steward of Valron.
I believe is a...
I'm going to look it up here again. But it's a new one for me, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's a 2/2 mana dork. I think that's about it. We've just had a hard cast Spirit Guide. Why not?
Right.
Hey, if it works.
Alright, Steward of Valoron is 1 green and 1 white to cast. It's a human druid knight creature with vigilance. It's a 2/2 and it's tapped to add a green to your mana pool. So it's a 2/2 Llanowar elf with vigilance.
With vigilance. Right, you get that extra value in there.
Yeah.
Get to attack, block, and...
It's a pretty sweet art, actually. You've got this kind of golden knight guy with a massive sword. Yeah.
But yeah,
That's pretty sweet.
He looks gnarly. He looks meaner than a 2/2. Just saying.
Yeah. That's right. I mean, generally you would see kind of Kasali Pride Mage in a green-white dude in that, in these colours. But
it's actually funny you should say that. I'd probably like a Kasali Pride Mage over
a Llanowar elf. Yeah.
A Llanowar elf in this spot, making my true name Nemesis 4/2 whenever it's attacking.
Yeah. Alright, so we're going to bash in with the true name here.
A 10 turn clock instead of a 13 turn clock, I think. Yep.
I think Scott will probably take this one. Take himself down to 37.
It's likely. There's nothing he can do with a true name to block the true name anyway. So.
Yeah. Here's a birthing pod.
Now we're getting serious. Right.
All right. So what's he going? Okay. So he's going to tap his dork to use the birthing pod.
And
bye dork.
Pay 2 life as well, and we're going to get 3 costs. So I'm wondering whether he goes to the Hakon now.
So Hakon Stormguard Scourge.
And then he can actually then cast the Mana Dork, the Steward. Yeah, he does. He can cast the Steward from the graveyard straight away.
Yeah, right. That's cool.
So
and so he can keep birthing
So
potting.
he can keep birthing potting the 3-drops.
Yeah, I guess it does accelerate your birthing pod, doesn't it? Having a 2-mana dork. Yeah.
That's right. It even taps for 1 green, so you don't have to pay the life.
That's right. He just does it himself.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that is cool. So what would you be getting next?
So what's in the 4-mana slot? So you got your Wilt Liege, I think. Is in
Atraxa?
I reckon look, the number of one-offs here, I reckon there's a definite order of things going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he'll know what he's doing. Finding the next one.
Yeah, Hakon is certainly cool in a pod deck.
Yeah. So there's a Sylvan Scrying for Dark Depths.
Yes. So, and we know he's got the Hex Mage in...
Yeah, he's got a Hex Mage in hand. Does he have the 2 black?
Yeah. Yes, he does.
Yeah, he does. Okay.
So, what can Gene get to disrupt this with his pod? He's basically got his pick of the creatures. I'm assuming there's something...
What can he block with? I feel like he wants to maybe just rip Lingering Souls off the top and just buy himself some turns.
I could certainly do it.
What have we got? There's a Polluted Delta.
Alright.
How many plows has he got?
He's got 2 in the main deck.
He's already used 1.
1 in the board. Oh, I'm super curious to see what he gets. Well, 3 mana, he's going to cast something. I wonder if he can just... No, he probably can't go lethal. He's on 37. Scott's on 37 life, so...
He's thinking pretty hard here. I think he's thinking, like, what are my outs to this thing?
Which is what you always want to think. How am I going to live?
Okay, so we're going to see a Plains tapped.
And tap the green, right?
No, change of mind.
Wants to save his mana. Okay, so he's
taps his birthing pod
and pays 2 life. Sacks. He's going to go get another 3-drop.
All right, let's see what it is.
I don't know what the 3-drop is that he gets. Stillmoon Cavalier, I think, can block. Yeah, there we go.
Okay, let's have a look at that one.
It's flying creature, which it has a few options. I believe it...
Okay, so it's 1 and a white and a black, or a white and a black. It's got protection from white and black. Tap a white or a black, and it gains flying until end of turn. For the same mana cost, it gains first strike till end of turn. And for 2 mana, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn. So it's going to buy him a turn.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So...
But yeah, he's maybe got to find a plow. I think.
There's a Liliana. So...
Oh, is that the last... Liliana, the last hope.
Last hope. So he can kill the Hex Mage,
yeah,
but
he'll
he's going to
trigger it in spawns. Yep. It's going to make the 20/20.
June's got no cards in hand.
Alright, so he's going to crack his Delta. That thins a little bit, I guess. Not a lot.
So he can recast the Steward again right now from his graveyard.
Mm-hmm. A Baleful Strix would buy him another turn as well.
This is true.
So does he have a 1-mana dude? So there comes the Mana Dork back again. He's going to bash him with True Name.
Yeah.
He may as well.
Right. And do we know what's in Scott's hand at the moment?
No. See if we can have a look. I think I can see an exploration map.
Sylvan's Keeper, yep.
Yeah, okay.
That gives protection, doesn't it?
Yeah. So you sacrifice a land and you can't target. No, so it gives another creature Shroud. So it's used to protect the Narrow Lage. Yeah.
But that does.
Yeah, so I think we'll scoop it up.
Yep, that's it. That's the game.
Yeah.
Oh, that was super sweet from Gene. Still,
Yeah, some really interesting card choices. I enjoyed watching that.
yeah, that was very cool. I do want to see Azur's Weirding hit the battlefield.
Yeah.
That seems super fun.
Let's have a look at the sideboard and
Sideboards,
see what we
yeah.
think's coming in. So on Scott's side of the board, we have a Sylvan Safekeeper, an additional one, 3 Surgical Extraction, 4 Abrupt Decay, 2 Toxic Deluge, 1 Dread of Night, 2 Sylvan Libraries, a Caracas, and a Maze of Ith. So there's a lot of dudes on Gene's side. You might bring in the Maze just to buy yourself some time. Maybe a Toxic Deluge one, now that you've seen a true name on the board, that kind of thing. Probably not the Surgical with all of the flashing back guys, I think there might be some case for a Surgical Extraction. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to know.
And on Gene's side, we've got Swords of Plowshares, or 1 Swords of Plowshares, 2 Oars of Pontiff, 2 Leovolds, 2 Zur's Weirdings, 4 Leyline of the Voids, 2 Wheel of Sudden Moons, and 2 Sorcerer's Spyglass.
Okay, so can Sorcerer's Spyglass name Thespian Stage?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that's coming in for sure.
That's slam that straight into your deck. Interesting, he's gone with Sorcerer's Spyglass over Pithing Needle.
Yeah.
But I guess you do get the information.
Yeah,
Sorcerer's
for
Spyglass
sure.
is sort of cool. Swords comes in as well.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sure these two know. Like, it looks like Gene's pulled out 6 cards there. 5 cards? 5 cards. So, I don't know if that means he's got 5
He's
cards
keeping on
to bring
going.
in. So maybe he's bringing... I'm
there's
trying
a
to
lot.
decide whether... Does Oars of Pontiff do anything in this match? It
Let's have a
kills
look.
the Hex Mages.
Yeah, maybe.
When it comes into play, it deals -1 to...
Oh, so it's
all
like as well as
opponents'
Persecution with the
creatures.
dude?
It is,
Yeah,
and
right.
it has Haunt. So when it dies, you can haunt one of your own creatures.
Yeah, okay.
When that creature dies, do it again.
Look, I don't know. I don't know. Because you can always just sacrifice the Hex Mage in response.
Yeah, so
right?
you-
I don't know if it's
yeah.
fast enough.
I mean, you're not going to play down the Hex Mage
Yeah.
unless you've...
Yeah, you're not bringing in Leovold, that's for your control matchups.
Wheel of Sun and Moon?
I don't even know what that is.
Now, that's... yeah.
Let's have a look on the Gatherer, hey?
Yeah, do that.
Wheel of...
It's Graveyard Hate, I'm pretty sure.
Well, yeah, the interesting thing is that there's no Life from the Loam in the Turbo Debts list. But you may be confused into bringing it in. I know if you would assume like a deck on lands is going to be bringing in Life from the Loam. But if he knows the matchup well, then he may not. He may know not to bring it in.
They do seem to be sideboarding very deliberately, and it looked... I think I saw Gene put in Zur's Weirding.
Okay. So Wheel of Sun and Moon is another multicolour spell. It's green and white, 2 mana. It's an enchant player. If a card would be put into enchanted player's graveyard from anywhere, instead that card is revealed and put it on the bottom of that player's library. Yeah. So normally, like, you think of like graveyard strategies are being around exiling things. This is going to just dump them on the bottom.
That's what this deck needed. Something just a little bit complicated. So
Yeah, that's right.
more of that. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
look,
good.
I do appreciate the creativity. Though.
I love
it's
it.
It's
It's
amazing,
great.
right? Because you can come into these things and see lots of Delver and and
you
you
can
your
get
turbo
bored.
depths, but yeah, it's good to see someone really brewing hard.
Yeah.
And it's it can be good to go rogue. You can confuse a few people and get them to misplay that kind of thing.
Yeah, it is fun.
Yeah, I remember when I came back from having many years off from playing Legacy, I just ran a rogue mono black deck in a tournament, and people were just so confused at me trying to play sinkholes and hypnotic specters. I managed to pinch 3 matches. So there's definitely something in doing that kind of strategy.
So I've got a photo here of what is left in Gene's sideboard, and it looks like there is a Stoneforged Mystic, Imazar's Jade, Batterskull, Stoneforged Mystic, and I can't read the last one. Might be another Jute. And that's what he's bought.
those
Those
are 2 jets. Yep.
They're the 5 cards that have came out. And yes, 2 Zur's Weirdings have came in. The swords has come in, and 2 Sorcerer's Spyglasses. So that was the 5.
Oh, we've got a couple of Leovolds.
Yeah. So that's
They're
what's
those
left in
remaining.
the
This is what's coming out. Yeah.
So,
Okay. All right.
yeah. Process of elimination.
It's pretty wild playing 2 Jit in your main
In
as
your main
well.
deck,
Normally
yeah.
you would see one with a stone, with a few stone forge,
I would have done the same thing. I would have been playing colourless dumb stuff though. So, and on Scott's side, we see 4 Lotus Petals out and 2 Elvish Spirit Guides out.
So he doesn't feel like he needs quite the same amount of acceleration.
So
What's he bringing in?
the Sylvan Safekeep is still in the sideboard. Libraries. Dreader Knight is in.
Yeah.
Sylvan Library is still in the sideboard. Krakus is still in the sideboard. Maze of Ith has gone into the main deck.
Yep.
Toxic Deluge has gone into the main deck, both of them. And Abrupt Decays, all the Abrupt Decays.
Yeah. There's a lot of kind of 2-3 mana dudes going on. So yeah, that makes sense. So he's looking to play a little bit. Scott's looking to play a little bit slower, but have a bit more resilience.
Yeah. Which I guess the Turbo deck it's not a glass cannon. I mean, that's why it's a competitive deck, but there is a lot of hate that people play.
Yeah, and it's pretty all in, isn't it?
It is very all in. With cards like Thoughtseize sort of help you combat that.
Yeah. All right. So what can we see there?
Now we see.
There's definitely a brainstorm.
Interesting.
And we've got a martial
brainstorm in
arts.
response.
Yeah, that is a strange choice. Yeah.
So he's got the Zer's Weirding. What is the whiteboarded card?
Oh man, you've got me there.
Yeah, I'm not.
I don't think I can pick that one.
Oh, are they both Zer's Weirdings? I think they are.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're just 2 different copies.
Yeah, right.
Brainstorm, Storm, Still Moon Cavalier, and a land. So it's not an obvious choice.
No, and Scott's thinking hard.
I'd probably take the Brainstorm.
Yeah, there's not a huge amount of action.
No,
going on over
and
there.
he needs to naturally draw land off the top just to cast the Cavalier. So
He's going through his own cards here. I think he's trying to work out what the hole is. You want to like punch a hole, right, with your Thoughtseize. He's got a duress in hand, so maybe he thinks, look, I'll take a creature that matters here, and then I'll come in with a duress on the next turn and take out something else. But he'll probably brainstorm in response a second time. Oh, there's a plow.
Swords off the top. That's a pretty good one actually, and he can hide it with that brainstorm there too, if needed.
So do you brainstorm here? Do you think?
Maybe. That swords might change. Yeah, might change my decision.
It's going to pass the turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say to hold it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold it so you need it. It's a really powerful effect.
When you have fetch lands to abuse with it too, it's very powerful.
All right, so
there's a dress. See, now I think I will.
Now you crack the brainstorm.
Play the brainstorm, and that's why you hold it. So that's well played by Jen.
So we see Misty Rainforest sent to the bin.
One of many lands that we can pick here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see which colours he goes for. So he can get his white with the marsh flats there.
He goes for
Trop. Yep.
I guess he's got to somewhat think about the ghost quarters in. Is there There's got to be wastelands in the Turbo Death's deck.
That's right. But he's on so many colours.
Yeah, and that's
I don't know. Sometimes I think it's just like a trade-off land for land, and so if you're weakening yourself too much.
And that's right.
Yeah.
So you got to be really careful on what you are.
I think he's probably going to want to find another land. Oh, there's a Spyglass.
Spyglass.
That's pretty good. So in Thespian stage with that.
So what do you put back on top? Swords.
He doesn't
and
want to get
Spyglass?
that. Yeah. I mean, no, but if you don't want to fetch away the Spyglass, right? But you don't want to get it Thoughtseized either. So he's in a bit of a tough spot.
Interesting. He's going to leave the Spyglass in his hand. It looks.
Maybe he thinks, look, this guy's going to be out of discard spells, right? See, if you've seen 2 in the first 2 turns.
Yeah. Interesting. I probably.
There's no Thespians. So you want to definitely have access to the plow.
It's Spyglass is an obvious choice there. Oh, and that's the commander. I don't know how to pronounce it properly.
Which one is it?
Atraxa.
Oh, that's Atraxa Praetor's voice?
Yeah.
So what does that one do?
Oh no.
Don't know. Yeah. I'll have
I
another
know,
look.
I know
Hang
it's a
on.
commander and it's four different colours to play it.
Okay.
I think it's a pod target more than anything else.
Right. Yeah.
It does all kinds of things.
Okay. So yeah, it's 4 colours. It's a black, a blue, a white, and a green. It's a legendary angel horror. So it's 4/4 flying, vigilance, death touch, and lifelink. And at the beginning of your end step, you proliferate. So you can choose any number of permanents and/or players with counters on them, and give each another counter of the kind already there.
Okay. Here's the stage. See, and this is why I probably would have tried to hide that Sorcerer's Spyglass.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe he was like, oh look, I want to crack my fetch land. You know, you get into that pattern where you think you want to crack the fetch land in response to the brainstorm. He could have hidden it and just sat steady until he drew it next turn.
It's true. I guess if he was forced to crack the Marsh Flats for whatever reason,
Yeah, it's gone.
it's going to be shuffled away anyway. Okay, and so he's going to shuffle all the swords away as well. Interesting.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, in this match, I do feel like Scott's the beatdown, right? So you want to have your defensive cards if you're in Gene's position.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
So interesting choices being made.
Yeah, we'll see if it pays off. He knows his deck better than we do, that's for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
He may be looking to cast that Atraxa, Praetor's Voice.
Alright, so he untaps.
This turn, depending on what that is, I do not know what that is. Is that Lingering Souls?
Could be, yeah. Yep, so remove.
Looks like we're about to find out. That's
Yeah,
Lingering
okay.
Souls. Yep.
Lingering Souls it is. So you see 2 1/1 flying. Are they spirits?
I
think
believe
they're
so.
spirits.
I
Yeah.
believe they're spirit
Are
tokens.
the
Yeah.
fairies or spirits or something? Yeah, they're
Yeah.
spirit tokens.
Which, hey, it's a clock and it's also something to block a 2020 monster.
Yeah, it buys you 4 turns. And that funds a plough, right?
And he's turned here. It looks like he's turned his Thespian stage into a swamp, I believe. That's Scott. Yeah.
So he's going to play a land here. No, he's going to go Hexmage. Yeah, okay.
Interesting.
I wonder if he has the depths in hand. It's hard to see. So I see crop
He's got
rotation.
crop rotation, so
Yeah.
he's going to be able to do it in step.
So he's held up his green there.
Yeah.
So he's going to go for that. Alright. So we'll see a land. Are we going to see a land here for Gene? He's thinking pretty hard.
So
Because he's going to know there's a crop rotation in hand if there's a green left.
green, yeah.
Yeah.
See green up. You got little alarm bells ringing in your head now for sure. The interesting choice.
Actually, the interesting thing is that if he has to sack the forest, there's an extra turn in there because he hasn't got the mana to activate the Thespian stage.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, well,
Yeah.
he's got the Hex Mage, though.
Oh, yeah, true. Sorry, what am I thinking about? Yeah. Okay, so there's a death right. Okay, so he ships the turn. And we'll see a crop rotation
Yeah.
on end step.
There's
Depths.
the depths.
I think we'll say bye-bye, Mr. Hexmage.
And here's a
He hits the
monster.
bin. I've seen a bit of Marit Lage around today.
There's
There's a lot of Marit
But a
Lage.
lot of surprise. Oh, wait.
Oh, that's
Swords
been ploughed,
Flasher.
so he did keep it in hand.
And
Yeah.
we've seen a lot of.
So I think
Here's 20 life.
That's right. I think we can nestle in.
Yeah.
It's going to be a while for those lingering soul spirits to knock 38 life off of his total. Scott called it. Yeah.
Funny.
All right.
Yeah, I
So
wish I
you got
bought a
Gene-
comfy chair.
That's right. So Gene untaps. All right. So there's a Cabal Therapy on the draw there.
Okay. How does Populate work with Lingering Soul tokens? Does it?
Let's have a read.
Is that right?
So the permanents and/or players with counters on them.
Oh no.
So there's no
okay,
counters.
So it's not counters on it. So I was just.
What does he have with counters? I mean, he's got his equipment, so his jits can get additional counters.
It may just be a. So here's the.
Oh, he's got Liliana. Yeah.
I believe that is Zer's weirding. It's just jumped into play. So now there's going to be all kinds of, when somebody draws a card, instead they reveal, so we all play with our hands revealed. We now reveal our draw steps. And if somebody doesn't want that person to draw a card, they all you have to do is pay 2 life.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
This is very interesting.
So when Gene sees something that's going to be turning a when Gene sees something he doesn't want drawn,
We'll just go down a couple of life. So I'm not sure we saw the life total on Scott's side go up, but I think he is on probably 38.
I think he's on 38.
Yeah.
Oh. And Dark Depths does what Dark Depths do.
Just ends the game.
Ends the game.
Instantly.
Oh, wasn't there a couple of blocks in there for... Oh, no, he had the
step.
The step, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good card in this list, the Sageri's Step.
Yep. All right, well, congratulations, Scott. This is the end of round 2. We didn't have to nestle in for too much longer.
I was getting comfortable, but there you go. So look, a great match there for the Turbo Depths deck. One that's been quite dominant in major tournaments.
Yeah.
So it's showing us what it can do and the speed at which it can plow out a massive win.
It just wins out of nowhere, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
It's unreal.
All right, well, we'll see you in round 5.
Wonderful.